first panic attack, thought that I was dying. My wife said breathe, but I could hear the sirens. I guess that's so many years of trauma built in silence. Instead of pushing it down, I should've done more crying. Look into my daughter's eyes and I swore with pride. Look into my daughter's eyes, I believe in God. Still I wonder, how could I guide? How can I give direction when I'm missing deep inside? Overcompensate with ego, what I'm missing is my pride. If I image made in God, then why's the devil on my mind?
Guess who's back? What's going on, YouTube? It's Knox. We're back with our breakdown series. So today, man, Christmas has come early. You guys know we've done a lot of NF on this channel. It feels so good to finally have some brand new NF. I'm looking forward to diving into this album. I'm going to do a couple breakdowns and then I'm going to drop a full album reaction. It's all coming, so stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button. Get ready. It's going to be an NF pack weekend. But first and foremost, we got Fear. Also, if you like that song in the intro, I just had a brand new track drop. A very important one for me, Independent Volume 1. It's a diss at the music industry, a diss at UMG. Talking about a lot that I've been going through, a lot that's been on my mind lately. Just kind of a stream of conscious track. I'm really proud of it. You know, it's me bearing my soul in my art. If you like what you hear, if you think you want to support it and you want to check it out, I will put all links down there so you can listen. But anyways, know what we're here for. Nate, step back up to the plate. See what you got.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Hello. Knocking at my door again. Begging me to come outside. Let you back into my life. Now, usually I'd be strong enough to lock the doors and keep them shut. But not today, I'm desperate.
Oh.
So go ahead and come on in. So go ahead and come on in.
There's already just so many layers. It's Nate. I love the metaphors. I love the symbolism. I'm going to try something different. We'll have some comments. I'm going to try to really let this run and get the full picture of this before I go back and break all this down. But man, love it already. Hello, darkness, my old friend. We just did a breakdown of Disturbed, Sound of Silence, Simon and Garfunkel. Come on.
So go ahead and come on in. OCD is worse than ever, hands are bleeding, maybe I should take the pills down. Know what's going on with me, some days I actually think I might be schizo. Frantic, probably not, but even writing this is making me begin to spiral, oh God. Made a promise to myself I wouldn't let the fear back in, but then I did though. Told the world that I was sick of running, then went back to running, what a joke. Disappointing, yeah, me too, I thought I finally made a breakthrough, guess not.
Man.
It's the same song and dance, you all seen it before. Darkness holds out its hand, then we walk to the floor. Every decision made isn't mine anymore. Like a puppet with strings, I just don't have a choice. What's the truth, what's a lie, help me God.
It's all about juxtapositions for me. The juxtaposition of his faster rapping and then coming back out of that into the smoother melodies. The juxtaposition of his white outfit. And notice the black, the white against black that ensnares him.
Help me, Lord, face your fears, dry your eyes, grandma died, what's the point? Lost the keys, lost my hope, lost my will, lost my joy, lost a friend, lost my hope, lost my faith, lost my voice.
Oh, that was an unexpected transition.
Standing back, watching my mansion burn to ash while I hold the gas.
Watching his mansion burn to ash.
Can asking God if he started this fire. Is this what you wanted? Is this what you wanted? Make all my hopes and my dreams come to life just to lay them to rest. Is this what you wanted? Is this what you want? Yeah.
Wow, what a powerful representation of all the darkness creeping back in.
Give me a false sense of peace just to show me what peace really is.
Love the singing, man. Nate is really a good singer, very underrated.
Is this what you want now? On the verge, on the edge. Is this what you want now? Petrified, scared to death. Is this what you want now? Praying to God, desperate. Is this what you want now? What you want now? Is this what you want now? Hanging on by a thread. Is this what you want now?
Oh.
Empty heart, nothing left. Is this what you want?
Oh, wow.
Now? Breaking down, spiraling. Is this what you wanted? What you wanted? Is this what you wanted?
Oh.
Is this what you wanted? Is this what you wanted? To ask. Is this what you wanted? What you wanted?
What a powerful crescendo.
Is this what you wanted?
Those visuals are insane. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Fear. That was fear. We've gone backwards. Remember perception? Remember the keys? The cage? Nate in all black once more. Fear is back in control. Wow. Chills, man. And for me, quick meta thought on this before we go back and dive into the details, because it is beautiful and dense. But what a reflection and just representation of the mental health journey. Because for me, we had hope. We had White Nate finding the map to hope, finally finding some optimism and giving us a more positive message. And anyone who's been through mental health, depression, anxiety, panic attacks can tell you, you think you're on a path to healing. You work so hard to heal. And then it just feels like all of a sudden something happens or one singular moment and it just sends you 6 steps backwards. And mental health is a constant journey. You're never truly over it once you're in it. You're never truly healed. There's always that side of you that's on edge, that's hoping not to relapse, hoping not to go backwards. And for me, that's a perfect representation of life. Life is not black and white. We can't just have Nate getting across the finish line and celebrating victory, because that's not the reality of his situation. Fear is back. The doubts are back. The darkness is back. All of those negative emotions overcoming him. And that for me is just bringing things back around full circle with his previous videos, with his previous messages, but also it really does represent the true journey. Man, the poetry to this. All right, let's start breaking this down. Well done, Nate.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Hello.
I love that little whisper. Hello. You know, just kind of like breaking the fourth wall, kind of greeting it, because he's very good at taking these different emotions and personifying them, personifying fear, personifying pride, having these different conversations, you know, bringing these different feelings to life. And notice here too, like, looks like a wide open mansion, and it represents for me his headspace, right? His headspace is very destroyed. That's why there's books on the floor. That's why things are knocked over.
At my door again.
He's looking at the door, which he's talked about a mansion representing the door, and trying to stay away from some of those negative emotions that want to tempt him, that want to get him to go outside, right? That want to get him to dig holes and maybe dump him in the hole. Behind him on the right too, there's a broken mirror. And for me, the mirror comes into play later as well. The mirror is so great because we look at our own reflections in the mirror. So that broken mirror representing just that broken sense of self-esteem, that broken sense of self that we reflect upon.
Knocking at my door.
We also have the Nate dressed in white that we ended on hope with.
Again.
Lights flickering. You know the saying. The light's on, but is anybody home? Nice play on that.
Begging me to come outside.
And obviously we talked about Simon and Garfunkel. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Man, what a haunting line.
Begging me to come outside, let you back into my life. Now, usually I'd be strong enough.
Now, usually, like, I love right there how he goes, like, from the softer, whispered, now. And then on the U for the usually, he starts to push it more aggressive into his singing voice. Just like great little control. Kind of having these moments because he knows that everything's sort of scaled back right now in the instrumentation before we start to build, right? Just having that vocal push and pull within it just to keep you really on the edge.
Now, usually I'd be strong enough to lock the doors and keep them shut.
I love right there how he's got his softer saying, keep them shut. And behind that, it's that classic Nate mix of that yelling, shut! And it's super wet. It's super reverbed. And it just provides this atmosphere and this depth to it. But it's way kind of back in the mix and just adds a different sort of level of emphasis. And like I talked about, my favorite word, my word of the day is always juxtaposition, isn't it? Look at the lighting too, right? Just a very dramatic, cinematic lighting. The dramatic shadows, right? Even though he's dressed in white, we can't really see his face. We can't really see his expression. And this for me also represents kind of this doubt and these shadows that he's dealing with within.
But not today, I'm desperate.
And he's shaking his hand. He seems to be struggling, trying to lock the door. And that for me is representing that strength. You know, when those negative emotions, when those doubts, when that panic starts to creep in and you have those mental walls up and you're trying to block it out. And some days you definitely feel stronger than others. Some days you definitely feel weaker. And as time goes on, if you're not careful, if the weights start to pile up and you don't notice, you run out of strength to keep that door closed, to keep it all locked away.
So go ahead.
And then he just whispered, desperate. Getting desperate there.
I'm desperate. So go ahead and come on in.
Great acting. I love that look that he gives. Just kind of like that dread that you see it as he turns to the door.
So go ahead and come on in. So go ahead and...
Those of you who don't know, I've been in an accident. I've tore up my shoulder, and I just totally forgot as I'm sat drinking this. Like, I am in pain right now on pain meds, trying to focus. Yeah, sorry, sidebar.
Come on in. So go ahead and come on in. OCD is worse than ever, hands are bleeding. Maybe I should take the pills down.
So go ahead and come on in. That's not the Nate that we knew from Hope. That's not the Nate who was ready for the fight. Just the way that it's sung, the way everything's kind of dropped down, it almost feels like it's inevitability. And I love the way the musicality is used and kind of soft and almost devil may care, the way that he's singing it to just have that level of acceptance. And then he has a nice running rap flow. Now he picks up the pace and the energy. And with this more just like faster delivery that we're used to with his raps, with his MCing, I love how he runs along this guitar line right here.
OCD is worse than ever, hands are bleeding. Maybe I should take the pills down. Know what's going on with me, some days I actually...
OCD is worse than ever, maybe I should take the pills down. And I love how coming out, I go higher, then I drop down here. Right there, see that diction? And just that cadence control as well with that peppered flow.
They think I might be schizo. Frantic, probably not, but even writing this is making me begin to spiral. Oh, God.
I can't remember which music video it is that we call back here. You're going to have to help me in the comment section. Comment down below. Catch me up on that one. I just can't remember which exact one that's from.
Made a promise to myself I wouldn't let the fear back.
There's the mirror getting shattered. There's a callback as well.
But then I did, though. Told the world that I was sick of running, then went back to running. What a joke.
Told the world I was sick of running, then I went back to running. That is a great line for me, right? Because this is that mental health journey that he's on. We're supposed to be out of this. We're supposed to be in the light. And now all of a sudden we're going, feels like backwards, right?
Told the world that I was sick of running, then went back to running. What a joke. Disappointing.
Told the world I was sick of running, then I went back to running. What a joke. I love yet again how he comes out of that faster rap flow and then he smooths it out with a melody. And then he's got a great sense, I've talked about this before, of timing, right? Instead of just having this fast flow that he just keeps running through. He gives you a line and then he takes a breath and he lets that line marinate. And he has this very stop, fast delivery. But it lets you keep up with it, and it lets you just kind of appreciate kind of the skill of having a faster flow, but with words that add meaning, with words that are telling the story and contributing to the theme of his song. It's not just like filler bars that he's throwing out. That's like, look at me, I can rap fast. No, there's a purpose to it. There's just a craft behind it and a measurement to it all.
Yeah, me too. I thought I finally made a breakthrough. Guess not. It's the same song again.
And that's important for me, that the blackness comes out of the mirror. Remember, we talked about the self-reflection and the self-esteem.
Guess not. It's the same song again. You have seen it before. Darkness holds out its hand, then we walk to the floor. Every decision made.
Darkness holds out his hand, then we walk to the floor. That for me, like we walk out. I embrace the dance, almost like dancing with the devil, playing off of that. But the floor is important for me because we're not going up to the ceiling. We're not rising up, right? We're sinking back down. And notice again the snares. And these for me represent the snares within his mind.
Isn't mine anymore, like a puppet with strings. I just don't have a choice. What's the truth? What's a lie? Help me, God. Help me, Lord. Face your fears. Dry your eyes. Grandma died. What's the point? Lost the keys. Lost my hope. Lost my will. Lost my joy. Lost a friend. Lost my hope. Lost my faith. Lost my voice.
Lost my faith. Lost my voice. And I love how he's crying out to God, but then also there's those callbacks, that callback to hope, his proverbial hope, but also literally this song Hope, literally having the map to hope.
What's the point?
The keys as well that he lost, the keys to the door to keep the door closed, but then the keys that we had in perception, the keys that we had in Outcast.
Lost the keys, lost my hope, lost my will, lost my joy, lost a friend, lost my hope, lost my faith, lost my voice.
Lost my faith, lost my hope. You hear again, just that more aggressive Nate, just kind of reminding us that he's still there, like in the back of the mix. Again, just like super wet and atmospheric. This transition is such a dope transition, man. How do they set this up? This is just so clever. Look at that. And then he lost his voice there. And then the hand comes in. Wow. That's so dope. Washing your hands clean just makes me think of like Jesus washing his hands, right? Before the Last Supper. Bathing the hands and feet of the disciples. And what a beautiful moment for a piano. But here we go. You have this beautiful piano, and then that beauty gets interrupted with just that little distortion and that shot of the door. Just kind of reminding us, you can't even relax right now. And this, for me, again, is all representative of mental health. Like, we can't just chill. There is no chill. There's always just that edge somewhere. You know it's there. You know that shadow exists somewhere. Amazing shots and setup. Yeah, and then the hymn on fire. Ooh.
Back watching my mansion burn to ash while I hold the.
That feels like a memory. That feels like a cut from his therapy sessions, right? And you can't really hear what's said, but it's just like, you know, when you just have a memory and you can't just seem to grasp it and pull it to the surface, but you know that it's there deep down. That's what that sound makes me think of.
I hold the gas can, asking God if he started this fire.
You know, that's an interesting question, because for me, he's admitting to losing his faith, to struggling, to calling out for God for help. And then he's wondering, admits his own self-destruction, if God's the one who started this, if this was God's plan, right? Because there's still that struggle, I think, that we all have between individualism and how much is within our own control and how much is left up to fate and extenuating circumstances and left to God.
Is this what you wanted? Is this what you wanted?
For me, our second key location, right? We talked about the inside of the house representing his mental state. His faith now represented here, sat inside of a church. As the darkness creeps in and the doubt creeps in, admits his faith.
Make all my hopes and my dreams come to life just to play.
You got a beautiful piano running. You got a beautiful acoustic guitar running. And then you just have some strings building underneath of it all as well.
Them to rest. Is this what you wanted? Is this what
That hand movement, that hand's still shaking, right? Like he's struggling with the strength to grip, to hold.
you wanted? Give me a false sense of peace just to show me what peace really is. Is this what you wanted?
Gave me a false sense of peace just to show me what peace really is. Wow.
On the verge, on the edge. Is this what you wanted? Petrified, scared to death. Is this what you wanted? Praying to God.
And right there, it looks like there's like a little bit of like steam coming off of him.
Petrified, scared to death. Is this what you wanted? Praying to God, desperate.
Yeah. Like he's like bearing his soul, but also like the steam because he's getting ready. It's not steam. Oh, it's smoke because it catches on fire.
Is this what you want?
We're teasing it there.
What you wanted? Is this what you want?
And obviously tying in with religious references when he gets caught on fire here, like self-burning, but also like going through hell and having this play on heaven and hell as well.
Hanging on by a thread. Is this what you wanted? Empty heart, nothing left.
And the black tears, man.
Is this what you wanted? Breaking down, spiraling. Is this what you want?
Can't help but feel like he's speaking not only to God, obviously, as we tend to do in our worst moments, but he's also kind of speaking to himself and speaking to the different versions of himself. Like, is this what you wanted? And even speaking to fear, the title of this track, you know, this is what you wanted. You wanted me to go backwards. You wanted me to give into all this. Well, here you go. Here's the snares.
What you wanted? Is this 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 what you
What's wild is the depth to this mix. Like having his singing here, and then he's got some harmonies, oh, whoa, like down in the mix. Then there's a couple yells, yeah, like just that Nate yelling. That's, again, really buried down depth-wise. And then you have all these orchestral strings that are building, and yet the guitar sits over top of them all. So you still have this kind of acoustic moment happening, and then just like this crazy atmospheric build, just, but it's still down in the mix underneath of it all as it rises.
wanted? What you wanted? Is this what you wanted?
And then another really, really dope transition when he falls in the church and then he falls within his own house. And we're back in his mind. And here comes fear. And Dark Nate, who steals the keys. Yeah, that's a video. I wish I could clap more, but I do got to start thinking of taking care of this arm. I tell you what, man, the devil is in the details. And I say that appreciating all the religious references, just all the thought that's put behind Nate's music. And the thing I love too is how he always connects discographies, right? There seems to be a consistent storyline going. 21 Pilots does this as well. Some of the great artists, they do this. And they really make their art feel timeless. You know, it doesn't matter how many years it's been since he's dropped. Like, we're still dropped right back into that moment, right back into the series, right back into the continuation of the symbolism and themes of it all. And a really interesting choice too, because this is the first track. This is the opener. This is also the first music video. So, you know, some artists will go, well, I need a hit single as my first opener. I need something that's going to really splash, something that's, you know, going to be catchy. It's going to get the place. And it feels like Nate really just went, no, I need something that sets the mood, that sets the theme, right? I'm doing this for the art. And he chose to go more of the singing route instead of like really get in the rap bag and really get people talking. And I like that decision as well. You know, this is definitely someone who's matured, who's dropped a number of albums now, who is really going to do what he feels is right for the sake of the music, not what he feels is most marketable, not what he feels is going to get him the most attention. I enjoyed that. And F, you were Knox certified. Hope you guys liked today's video. Listen, if you're here at the end, obviously enjoying the content, do me a huge favor. Subscribe and notifications on. We got more NF on the way. I got more music videos to do. I got the MGK track, and then we got the full album reaction and breakdown. It's all coming this weekend, so stay tuned. They're going to start dropping. I love you guys. Stay safe, stay positive. Take care of this. Take care of this. You know I'll catch you soon.
Whoa, sit down, sit down. I'm like, wow, how we do it like that? Like, wow, how we do it like that? Like, wow, how we do it like that? Like, wow, better sit your ass down.